Good afternoon. Here's what's making news this Thursday, the 17th of July. Dramatic police pursuit. A knife-wielding man shot after ramming into a cop car before fleeing the scene. 2 teens charged with murder over the stabbing death of a man outside his beachside home on the Sunshine Coast. 7 months on, an arrest has been made. A man charged in connection to the arson attack on a Melbourne synagogue. A group of violent robbers caught after a terrifying Brisbane jewellery heist, which left an innocent victim with horrific injuries. And the baby breakthrough, how Australia could soon be creating kids with the DNA from 3 people.
This is 10 News Afternoon with Candice, Wyatt.
A man is in hospital under police guard after he allegedly brandished a knife in a domestic dispute, ram-raided cop cars and initiated a chase through the Central Coast north of Sydney. Officers fired 1 round and attempted to taser him twice before he was caught while jumping through properties in a nearby suburb. Olivia Blunden is on the scene.
Police are currently piecing together the series of events that have led to an investigation currently spread across 5 crime scenes. Around 5 o'clock this morning, officers were called to a domestic dispute between a man and a woman here in San Remo. The 42-year-old local man was allegedly wielding a knife in the middle of the street before trying to leave the scene in his car. Police say he then rammed 2 of their vehicles when they unsuccessfully attempted to taser him. An officer then discharged a single gunshot, hitting him in the arm. The man known to police escaped in a grey Mitsubishi station wagon that was then ditched. He was found an hour later travelling on foot in the neighbouring suburb of Gorokan, where he was tasered and arrested.
And the next thing, police on a motorbike saw a man just across the street, and he must have radioed the other police, and they came very quickly down, and there was probably at least 10 to 15 police cars.
This is one of the more serious incidents you'll find. It'll be alleged that he was quite aggressive when he engaged with police. He will now be facing some very serious charges as a result of what happened today.
The man is now in a stable condition in hospital under police watch. His female companion was treated for fractures to her face and she's since been discharged. It's understood the vehicle has been seized, but the location of the knife is unclear. Police are now appealing for any information that might help assist their lengthy investigation.
A 4-hour standoff with a man in Melbourne armed with a bow and arrow has come to an end. Police were called to a property in Hampton East after reports the man, aged 29, was behaving erratically. Once the situation was resolved, police say he was taken to hospital for assessment. 2 teenage boys have been charged with the alleged stabbing murder of a man at his home on the Sunshine Coast. 57-year-old Rav Village was found on the front yard of his luxury Warana home on Monday night. A 15-year-old boy and a 17-year-old boy have since been charged. Their cases were mentioned in court this afternoon and both have been remanded in custody. A man has been charged with the theft of a car connected to an arson attack on a Melbourne synagogue last December. It comes as authorities continue to investigate the incident's potential links to terrorism. Sam Mills reports.
As the Jewish community here in Ripponlea continues to rebuild, police have made a breakthrough with a man arrested over links to the Adass Israel synagogue firebombing. Victorian Joint Counter-Terrorism Team, which includes Victoria Police, the AFP and ASIO, arrested a 20-year-old man at Williamstown yesterday. He's been charged with the theft of a blue Volkswagen Golf, which was used in the firebombing of the synagogue in the early hours of December 6 last year. 3 hooded and masked men used an axe to smash open the front door before pouring petrol from a jerry can and setting the synagogue alight. 2 people were inside at the time but escaped the blaze, which has been declared a likely terrorist incident. No charges have been laid over the actual attack. Police will allege the man stole the sedan in Melton on the 29th of November last year. It was also used in an arson attack at a South Yarra nightclub and an arson and shooting that occurred at Bundoora on the same night as the synagogue attack. Those attacks are not considered by police to be politically motivated.
We're nearly 8 months in and still no arrests and no consequences for those that committed this horrific attack. the community don't feel supported, they don't feel safe.
Police also searched the man's Melton South home, seizing items subject to further investigation. He's been bailed to front Melbourne Magistrates Court in October.
5 men and a teenager have been charged in relation to a violent armed robbery at a Brisbane jewellery store last month, which left its owner with a fractured skull. Brendan Smith has the details.
BJ Sooner suffered a skull fracture, a fractured eye socket and required 3-hour brain surgery after the ordeal. His recovery is far from over.
I still have a blood clot in my head. Yeah, I have to follow up again after maybe a couple of weeks.
5 men and a 16-year-old boy have now been charged across Brisbane and Logan. Among the suspects, a 25 and 22-year-old man who were intercepted in a car at Spring Hill in Brisbane on Tuesday night. Police allege the group were armed with hammers, metal bars and were wearing masks when they entered a Gympie Road jewellery store. It happened at the end of Monday trading in June. A relaxed BJ and wife Samita unlocked the door for one more customer and were immediately attacked. BJ was hit across the head with a crowbar. Moments later, he was hit again with a hammer.
I was trying to open the door and they hit me again. They hit me again in my head by crowbar.
The store was ransacked, every piece of glass smashed and more than $500,000 of stock swiped.
That's the only business we have to survive. Yeah.
Police are still investigating a potential link to another armed robbery 2 suburbs over a month earlier, where another Nepalese jewellery store was targeted.
The Prime Minister is taking a softer approach to diplomacy on his final day in China by visiting a world-renowned panda breeding centre. Federal political reporter Matthew Carstunen has more.
Good afternoon. Well, they call it panda diplomacy, and we saw it in action today here at the Chengdu breeding facility for pandas, with the Prime Minister visiting here, and he saw a familiar face. Fu Ni used to live at Adelaide Zoo for nearly 15 years. Home to red pandas, giant pandas and golden monkeys, Anthony Albanese and fiancée Jodie Hayden got up nice and close with these very cute animals.
I met Funny in Adelaide. I helped to feed. Oh. Yeah.
This research centre does have that connection to Australia, as mentioned, Funi, as well as Wang Wang. They were both from the Sichuan region and lived at Adelaide Zoo for nearly 15 years. Of course, they're now back here in China, but 2 new pandas have taken its place. Australia is also the only country in the Southern Hemisphere that has pandas on loan from China.
Particularly in the summertime when it is very hot, they got up very early and they move around outside.
They're very sensible. Yeah, smart.
The visit follows the PM's arrival late into Western China to some very scorching temperatures yesterday, but that didn't deter him from hitting the ground running, meeting the secretary of the Chinese Communist Party's Sichuan Provincial Committee to set a court at the Sichuan International Tennis Centre, announcing the city of Chengdu will host the Asia-Pacific wildcard playoffs for the 2026 Australian Open.
Improving people-to-people and cultural links between Australia and China. And I can think of no better way than through this sporting engagement.
While the PM's visit to the panda breeding facility was the main event, he has a few more final functions to attend on his final day here in China, talking up Australia and China's trade and relations.
An e-bike rider has been killed after colliding with a car in Melbourne's north. Emergency services were called to the scene at Reservoir at 5 o'clock last night, where the rider was pronounced dead at the scene. They're yet to be formally identified. The driver of the car was uninjured and is confirmed to have stopped. Police are investigating the circumstances of the crash. The family of murdered British backpacker Peter Falconeio has spoken out following the death of his killer, Bradley John Murdoch. In a statement, Falconeio's parents described their first feeling as one of relief, saying it felt like a weight had been lifted. They also said they were hoping Murdoch would reveal the location of Peter's remains before his death, but say even now they still hold out hope they'll be found. Murdoch was serving a life sentence for the 2001 roadside murder of Mr Falconeio and the assault and attempted abduction of his girlfriend Joanne Lees. He died yesterday following a battle with throat cancer, aged 67. It's the world first program which could soon give hope to parents in Australia, sparing their babies from debilitating genetic conditions. Three-parent IVF is a new technique allowing babies to be born with a small amount of genetic material from a second mother in an effort to prevent the transmission of mitochondrial diseases.
Certainly, there will be people that would choose not to take up this technique in IVF. There are people that still believe that IVF should not be an option for families facing infertility. But we know in Australia that otherwise these babies are born with a significant risk of a devastating health condition. So it's really important that those families are given the option to participate in a program like this.
So far, 8 babies have been born using the three-parent technique in the UK, with hopes of births in Australia as early as next year. An entangled humpback has been set free after spending 2 days dragging crab pots off Stradbroke Island. SeaWorld spent more than 6 hours searching for the whale before it was found struggling to move in shallow water. It took around 15 minutes to cut away the rope wrapped around its head.
Once it realised that it could open its pecs up and start really kicking its tail, we couldn't keep up with it. The animal was like it was a totally different animal.
It's the 4th time SeaWorld has had to detangle whales off the coast this migration season. Coming up today, stupid and foolish. Trump calls out his own supporters for believing the Epstein conspiracies. Plus, the festival stage goes up in flames just days before it kicks off. So, will it still go ahead? And a massive tribute to the Pope.
Chen wanted a pool. May wanted the beach. With Trip Planner, they both won. Expedia, made to travel.
I wish I had the right uniform and school shoes like the other kids. I really want to go on excursions, but I know Mum's worried about money, so I'm not going to ask. And homework? It didn't used to be so hard, but I'm still trying. I won't give up.
Molly's doing everything she can to succeed at school, but how can she move forward when poverty holds her back? If you agree that every child deserves a chance to achieve all they're capable of, sponsor a child with the Smith family. Please go online or call 1-800-572-084. You can stop poverty getting in the way of a child's potential. Sponsor a child like Molly today.
I just wish I had what I need for school. Then I know I could do better.
Need some help! Patient is seizing! Everyone who comes into this clinic is a mystery. Their bodies are the scene of the crime. Their symptoms and history are clues.
You saved her life.
Mysteries. What we do. We're doctors and we're detectives.
I kind of love it, if I'm being honest.
Solve the puzzle, save the patient.
Watson starts Sunday on 10.
Watch and stream free.
At least 3 people are dead and dozens more injured after Israel launched airstrikes on Syria. The 2 countries have technically been at war for years, but this escalation of violence comes amid peace talks.
A sudden strike in the heart of Damascus. Syria's defence ministry the target of an Israeli attack, ringing out across the country's capital and live into the homes of many. The health ministry says at least 3 people have been killed and 34 injured as the IDF bombed the defence headquarters and sites near the presidential palace. This Damascus resident calling it a coward act, claiming Benjamin Netanyahu is attempting to escape his own problems and disperse the region again. While some critics say it's an attempt to seize a chunk of Syria, what the Israeli president has said himself is, "We are acting to save our Druze brothers." Over the past few days, those said brothers in the country's south have been clashing with Bedouin tribes and now Syrian troops sent in to bring the violence under control, but accused of only inflicting more.
It's complicated, obviously. These are historic, long-time rivalries between different groups in the south, west of Syria, Bedouins, the Druze community, and it led to an unfortunate situation and a misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding might be an understatement. Syria calls it a flagrant assault and treacherous aggression. It all comes as the US was reportedly brokering peace talks between Israel and Syria, a country still finding its new normal after the fall of Assad.
Any questions?
Marco Rubio was confident of a pause in fighting.
And we think we're on our way towards a real de-escalation and then hopefully get back on track in helping Syria build a country and arriving at a situation there in the Middle East is far more stable.
And as night fell, Syrian troops retreated from the south, with it an agreement from all parties to bring the violence to an end. Whether it holds, well, that remains to be seen. Leighton Hakel, 10 News.
A massive blaze has ripped through the main stage of the popular music festival Tomorrowland just 2 days before 400,000 fans are due to descend on the site. Thick black smoke was seen billowing from the stage, with the flames setting off fireworks intended for the show. Firefighters rushed in to stop the inferno from spreading, while some nearby residents were forced to evacuate. Despite the setback, organisers say the show will go on, with changes underway to keep the festival on track. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Donald Trump has lashed out at some of his biggest supporters following growing backlash over the handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files. The US president jumped straight on the offensive, calling out his own MAGA base on social media as weaklings for supporting the conspiracies. He doubled down in the White House, blaming the files as a hoax from the Democrats.
It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats, and some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net, and so they try and do the Democrats' work.
Despite the FBI and Attorney General both stating there's no evidence Epstein was murdered or that a client list exists, many of Trump's loyalists remain unconvinced. Even some within his own administration are calling for transparency. Popular Icelandic tourist spots have been forced to evacuate after a nearby volcano erupted in spectacular fashion. Huge amounts of lava and gas spewed from a crevice which opened up in the volcanic crater. Iceland's public broadcaster says the nearby town of Grindavik and the Blue Lagoon Resort have been evacuated. It's the 12th eruption from the once dormant volcano since it became active again in 2021 after 800 years of no activity. Ever wanted to own a piece of Mars or even a dinosaur? Well, if you have a spare $7 million, you may be able to. The largest Martian meteorite now has a new set record at New York auction this week after it was purchased for just over $7 million. It pales in comparison to the more than $46 million spent on buying a juvenile Ceratosaurus skeleton, making it the third most expensive dinosaur ever auctioned. The sale is part of Sotheby's Greek Week auction series, with other items from history and space up for grabs. Prince Harry has retracted his late mother's footsteps by walking down an active landmine field in Angola. Harry donned a flak jacket to recreate Princess Diana's walk through the old war zone as part of her work with Halo Trust. Harry is raising awareness for the group's work with clearing explosives from old war zones. Meanwhile, his father, King Charles, has a new portrait, courtesy of an AI robot. Queen Elizabeth was also painted by the artist, with both portraits to be displayed in an upcoming exhibit. Well, the Vatican may be known for its vast collection of art, which has stood the test of time, but now the Pope can add another piece to the collection. It just won't last as long. A land artist has carved out an image of Pope Leo in an Italian field outside Verona, using only his tractor. Paired with the quote from the Pontiff saying "Peace in the world," artist Dario Gambarin says he made sure to craft the portrait over the field's greenest grass, titling the work Green Pope. Up next, a look at your local weather. And in entertainment, the Obamas break their silence over those divorce rumours. And here's what else is coming up in your local 10 News at 5 o'clock.
A desperate insider from a failing business has reached out for help, so I'm going undercover. The moment they know I'm coming, they cover their tracks. Not this time.
Are you happy? No, nor am I. With cutting-edge surveillance.
I can see every corner.
Undercover diners.
You can be pretending to talk on your telephone if you want to talk to me.
Tastes like mop water.
And an insider telling him everything.
Those meatballs were festering in the fridge last night. Do not eat the meatballs. Oh, my God. I've had enough. I'm going in.
Gordon Ramsay is here.
Stop what you're doing.
It's usually not good if Chef Ramsay's walked into the door.
This diner is closed.
You guys want a bag?
That? You should be ashamed.
I'm not ashamed of the 4.6 Google rating I have.
There's rat droppings everywhere. Where's that on your 4.6 Google rating?
Oh, hell no.
Within this establishment, I have an insider. They've been talking to me, they've met with me.
Who's the insider?
Breaking news. We're screwed. I can transform a kitchen, but I need to know that you are ready for change. Can you accept change? Oh, boy.
Gordon Ramsay's Secret Service starts July 30 on 10.
Watch and stream free.
This ring belonged to your father, Maximus. I see him in you.
Prepare to be entertained. Gladiator and Gladiator 2 are now streaming on Paramount+.
Are you not entertained? What we doing live? Echoes in eternity.
Gladiator and Gladiator 2 now streaming on Paramount+.
Why is the Birkin bag making news?
I don't know what a Birkin bag is. So why are you buzzing?
There'll be bags of fun when Anne, Ray and Alex join Ed and Sam on Have You Been Paying Attention? Monday on 10.
Watch it stream free.
Time to get a check on the day's entertainment headlines. It's only Thursday, but we have some Freaky Friday news. Silver screen stars Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan are heading to our shores for the premiere of Body Swap sequel Freakier Friday. More than 2 decades on from the original, Curtis and Lohan reunite as mother-daughter duo Tess and Anna. The comedy is setting the stage for another body switch, this time with Anna's daughter and stepdaughter. The stars will be in Sydney in 3 weeks, with the film to be released on August 7. Former US President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle are addressing the headline-grabbing divorce rumours surrounding their marriage. Speculation that the pair had split began earlier this year when the former First Lady did not join her husband at several high-profile events. The former president made a surprise guest appearance on Michelle's podcast, making light of the situation and shutting down rumours they're calling it quits.
My husband, y'all.
She took me back.
Now don't start.
I can't.
It was touch and go for a while.
It's so nice to have you both in the same room together.
I know, because when we aren't, folks think we're divorced.
So I don't even know this stuff's going on.
Right.
And then somebody will mention it to me and I'm all like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
There hasn't been one moment in our marriage where I thought about quitting.
In October, the couple will celebrate their 33rd wedding anniversary. We've just had a first look at the newest thriller from Oscar-nominated filmmaker Luca Guadagnino, and it's already getting Oscar buzz. The all-star cast features Julia Roberts as a university professor, as her colleague, played by Andrew Garfield, and her student, played by Ayo Adebri, become embroiled in a campus scandal.
Talk to Maggie today.
No, she wasn't in class. No call, no show.
I need to speak with you, okay? Hank walked me home. He asked for a nightcap, which, you know, it's fine.
What are you saying happened?
He crossed the line.
I believe her, but whatever happened to stuffing everything down like the rest of us? So are you going to tell me why this is not true?
Maggie cheated. I told her I suspected she plagiarized, and then the next day, utter fabrication.
After the Hunt hits cinemas on October 16. Time for a look at the weather now with Jade Kotick. Jane, it's been a showery day across Southeast Asia. Australia.
Australia. It certainly has been, Candice. It's been one cold front after another for our southern states, and it is generating powerful swell along with gusty showers. The latest frontal system has delivered a few drops to coastal South Australia, Victoria and Tasmania. Melbourne's southeast suburbs have picked up about 6 millimetres, while the west coast of Tassie has seen about 14. For most areas, though, it has been very light. The cold front sits within this cloud band just here, extending across the continent's southeast. It's pushing into the Tasman Sea, while skies remain clear for the northern half of Australia. In typical winter fashion, as one front clears, in comes another from the Southern Ocean, clipping southwest WA tomorrow morning, bringing another round of light falls. On the east coast, a trough extending from southern Queensland into coastal New South Wales will cause instability with onshore winds. As a result, both Brisbane and Sydney will see showers tomorrow. The heaviest falls will be along the New South Wales and Queensland border. The sun will be out in Canberra. Conditions will clear in Hobart and Melbourne. Adelaide is heading for a top of 15. The brollies will be out in Perth, but of course, we'll have all your local weather details and forecasts coming up on 10 News at 5. Candice.
Thank you, Jade, and happy birthday. And that's the latest news for this Thursday, the 17th of July. I'm Candice Wyatt. Join us for more on 10 News at 5 o'clock. Until then, have a lovely afternoon.